Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow! 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 Ow!
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCM, LIX. People have called me the Racy Reverend, the Pervert Pastor, the Vile Vulgar Vicar of Vice, the Sexy Shepherd, the Missionary Man, the Dirty Deacon of Doggy Style, the Frisky Friar, the Ass Man Abbot, the Booty Banging Brother, the Handsy High Priest, Father Fistmas, the Holy Ho, the Divine Dominating Dominee, the Depraved Preacher, the Minister of Making Love, the Clergy of Cunning Conversation while eating pussy, and that nasty N-word. Now, the point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy. So let us begin in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah. Now, if you may have noticed, this is, again, not a live, I'm not doing it live today. I will be back live on the 26th of January. The streaming service that we were using prior to this was giving us a bunch of shit, and so we gave shit back, and now we'll be going back to the shit that we were taking before. I don't know all the technical stuff, because it's technical stuff, and I don't know anything about technical stuff. Technically speaking. But, so I just wanted to go by this before we do the opening prayers, and let you know this is going to be a short session. I'm going to do the obituaries, and then we'll do a little bit of something that's pissing me off right now, just to get it off my chest, so it won't be festering for a whole week until we go live. And so, and some of you are saying, Reverend, why are you doing the obituaries? Why do you feel compelled to do the obituaries every week, even if you're not live? They're going to be dead when you go live again, and so what's the rush? And that's true. They will be live. They will still be dead when I go live next week. The problem is, if I waited, I'd have like 4 weeks of obituaries, and each obituary is 3 or 4 people that died, and that's like 10 minutes or so. And then we're talking like 4 hours of obituaries in a 1-hour show. And that's a bit. And that's an obit. Well, never mind. The thing is, it could be a problem. So we want to get all that, get everything caught up and be respectful of the dead, even if we're not respectful of the dead, because they're dead. That's no point in beating a dead corpse, or whatever it is that you beat when it's dead. Okay, the old man's penis. There you go. So it is time for our opening prayers. If you or someone you know is in need of a prayer from me, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, please send your request for a prayer or healing, forgiveness, or any such bullshit, request to me at the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll at gmail.com, and that address will be posted somewhere on there. It'll be somewhere you can like there or there, but it's down there. You'll be able to see it. Could be up there. You'll see it. If you don't see it, then there's something on the eyesight, and you shouldn't be watching TV because it's bad for your eyes. You shouldn't be watching on your phone. It's bad for your eyes. Yeah. So, yeah, and please remember to spell roll with an E. Otherwise, it could be any number of jelly rolls that get your prayer but won't answer it. And if you want your prayers answered, you gotta go through me. Well, you don't have to go through me, because we also have a disclaimer. And that disclaimer is, while all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. And I say may apply, and I apply that term generously, because may apply is definitely will apply. So I really guess I shouldn't even say may. I could guess use any month, because it doesn't matter what time of year it is, those loopholes and restrictions do apply. So please bow your heads, unless you're driving your car or your significant other, honk honk. And if that is the case, just close your eyes and pretend to drive, and let Jesus do the real driving while we pray. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Sam Moore. Sam Moore, the surviving half and higher voice of the 1960 duo Sam and Dave, has died. He was 89. Sam and Dave were known. See, it's funny, because this is an English thing. It says Sam and Dave is the name of the group, but it's that when you say Sam and Dave, it sounds plural. And you would think it would be Sam and Dave were known, but it's actually, because it's one group, Sam and Dave was known. I don't want anybody correcting me in the middle of an obituary, okay? Don't stop me. I'm in the middle of an obituary. Don't ruin the flow by correcting my grammar. It's Sam and Dave was known for such definitive hits as Soul Man and Hold On, I'm Coming. Which, coincidentally, Hold On, I'm Coming is the song that Trump used to play for his attorney, Alina Habba, while she was reviewing his briefs. Boom, yeah. Sam Moore died due to complications while recovering from surgery. So the surgery was successful, the recovery was not. And that's what the surgeon is going to say. The surgeon is going to say, I did my job. The job was to do the surgery correctly. I did that. The surgery was a success, okay? The recovery, well, that's mostly emotional and mental, and I can't do anything about that. That's on the patient. And if he doesn't recover, well, I can't be responsible for that. I'm not God. I'm a surgeon. So Sam Moore died due to complications while recovering from surgery. No additional details were immediately available. Moore was inducted with Sam and Dave, partner. See, again, Sam and Dave is the name of the group. All right, so Moore was inducted with Sam and Dave partner, Dave Prater. Okay, Dave Prater is the Dave of Sam and Dave. Just like Sam Moore is the Sam of Sam and Moore. Okay, are you catching up? Okay, because I know this happened a long time ago. This band was like in the 60s, and a lot of you are confused, but you'll know the music, okay? They were inducted in the Hall of Fame in 1992. Yeah. Now, most of the hits were written and produced by the team of Isaac Hayes, who you probably know from South Park. Hello, children. How are my little crackers doing? Chef. That's Isaac Hayes for you. For you young people, that's who Isaac Hayes is. Well, hello there, crackers. Yeah. But for us older people, Isaac Hayes wrote the music for do-do-dum, do-do-dum, do-do-dum-dum, the original Shaft. You know, that cat Shaft is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. He wrote it. He also performed it. You had that kind of, that voice, you know, that kind of one-of-a-kind voice. Not as one-of-a-kind as James Earl Jones, but it was recognizable. My little crackers. So Isaac Hayes and David Porter were the ones who wrote and produced those songs at Stax Records, Stax STAX Records. And some of you say, what's Stax Records? You'll know a lot of their music. If you look it up, look up the documentary, you'll go, fuck, that was Stax Records? Yes, it was. Stax did that? Yes, they did. They were phenomenal. Small label, okay? Now, the music that was done by the Stax House Band, which was actually Booker T and the MGs, which were another band in their own right. But Booker T and the MGs, while they performed under Booker T and the MGs, they were also the house band for Stax Records. They had a lot of fucking talent at Stax Records, I'm just saying, okay? And their guitarist was a guy named Steve Cropper. And Steve Cropper probably got one of the best shout-outs in music. When Sam and Dave played Soul Man, they will play it, Steve. And Steve, that was like halfway through the song, and he did that little thing. Do. Okay, I can't do it right. But if you listen to Soul Man, that little riff there, that's a very popular riff. That's Stevie Cropper, okay? Or Steve Cropper. And that was in Soul Man. Now, like many 60s soul acts, Sam and Dave faded after the 1960s. But the song Soul Man hit the charts again in the late 1970s when the Blues Brothers, that would be John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, or their real names, they were Jake and Elwood their characters were Jake and Elwood Blues, but they were John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, okay? They redid the song because they were on a mission from God, and they recorded it with many of the same musicians that did the original Soul Man. But Moore had mixed feelings about the hit song being associated with the Saturday Night Live performers because young people aren't very smart. And he knew that the young people were going to think that the Blues Brothers wrote Soul Man. Okay, but they did not. And Moore more than likely changed his mind after he received his first residual check for $19. I think that's what residual checks are not a lot. If you ever talk to someone who's living off of residual checks, the average person is like, oh, I got $10 this year. I got $14 this year. That's most people, standard residual deals. So, but rest in peace, Sam. You gave us some good music for the ages, and for that, can I get a, and I thank you. Yes, Lord. And dear Lord, please bless Brother Bob Eucker. Bob Eucker, the famously mediocre major league hitter, died early Thursday after a long battle with cancer. He was 90. Eucker discovered that he was much more comfortable behind the microphone than behind the home plate. And that was the start of a second career for him, because again, as a baseball player, he was mediocre. Everybody, he even said that, okay? But, so they started a second career in entertainment, and that exceeded the ballpark. He was much more famous for his post-baseball stuff than he was his baseball stuff. He was like the Jimmy Carter of baseball, all right? Now, you could spend 54 years as the Milwaukee Brewers play-by-play man. He started in the 1980s sitcom Mr. Belvedere and had memorable roles in the movie Major League and in Miller Lite commercials. So rest in peace, Bob. Although your baseball stats were less filling, your post-baseball career tastes great. Can I get a cold one? Now, dear Lord, please bless Brother David Lynch. David Lynch was a director and a writer who radicalized the American film industry with a dark, surrealistic, artistic vision in films like Blue Velvet and Mulholland Drive, and network television shows like Twin Peaks. He has died of emphysema. Not the song, The Girl from Emphysema. That's, like some Broadway thing. I'm not sure. I think that's from Madame Butterfly. I could be wrong because I'm not up on anything. So, he was 78. So Lynch burst onto the scene with his 1977 feature debut, Eraserhead. And that was a horrific, black-humored work that became a disturbing fixture on the midnight movie circuit. I've seen it 3 or 4 times, and the only scene I remember is, can I put that up? All right, right, that picture right there. That's the only thing I remember about that movie. And to be honest, I honestly don't know if I remember that scene because of the movie or because because it was in the movie or because it was in my drugs. Don't know. But that's it. Now, Lynch was hired by Mel Brooks' production company to write and direct The Elephant Man. And there was a deeply affecting drama about a horrifically deformed sideshow freak in Victorian England who became a national celebrity, giving birth to the line, I am not an animal, I am a human being, which to this day is true. I am not an animal, I'm a human being. David Lynch was a truly prolific artist and a unique talent, and I could spend hours discussing his contributions as a whole. But as David Lynch himself would say, keep your eye on the donut and not on the hole. Rest in peace, David. Your work was surreal, and you were wild at heart. Can I get the straight story? You David Lynch fans will get that. And if you don't, you're not David Lynch fans. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Peter Yarrow. Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary died on January 7th. I missed that. January 7th, he was 86. And the Peter of the Peter, Paul, and Mary musician, okay, he died of bladder cancer, which was diagnosed in 2021. He was the Peter in the Peter, Paul, and the Mary. Sorry. Peter was known for being meticulous when it came to the sound that Peter, Paul, and Mary had. They had hits such as 500 Miles, If I Had a Hammer, and of course, Puff the Magic Dragon. Now, in their song 500 Miles, they sing, Lord, I can't go home this-a-way. I can't go home this-a-way. I can't go home this-a-way. Okay, well, sometimes we don't have a choice. Okay, and we get home that-a-way. So rest in peace, Peter. May you find an eternal place by the sea. Can I get a hammer? And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at Mind Dog TV who have had like 3 or 4 weeks off from doing the show. So today, that would be me. I'm the behind-the-scenes staff. Oh, and G.D. Fenderson, who's going to edit this later and put the picture up. Thank him and thank me. That's it. And I'm not even behind the scenes. I'm right here in front of the scene. So I guess it's just bless GD. Okay? And I guess the other people behind the scenes were people who created the technology. Like, I didn't invent this camera. Someone else did. So bless you. I didn't invent the internet. Someone else did. Think the U.S. government. Bless you. I didn't invent the paper that I used to write the script for the prayers. Someone else did. Bless you. I think it were the Egyptians. It started with papyrus, I think. And anyway, bless all those people, because without all of them, we couldn't make this work, okay? It's not like we did it on our own. We didn't. We had help. And we thank you for their help. And please, if you could be so generous as to go to minddogtv.com, the merchandise department, and the merchandise page, and check out some of the things we have there. Support your local mercenaries is what I'm saying. Like myself, I have stuff over there. I don't know what I have over there because my face is on it. Like, I know I have t-shirts because I got one right here. Look, see? Yeah, right there. See this? Beautiful t-shirt. Here we go. With that beautiful face. Look at that face. That face is on that t-shirt as well as that beautiful lion, okay? And I ain't lying. That's the beautiful lion, okay? And we're going to be talking about lion later. I think, yeah, we are. So, let us do out of respect for those who have passed away and those who are waiting to pass away, let's have a little room for the Lord. Tastes a little different when my wife is out of town. but she'll be back tomorrow. Then I'll be out of town. That's why next week, when we go live, I'm going to be exhausted. But hey, that's it. So, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Now, brothers and sisters, I'm just going to play a little commercial for you before I go on with a little bit of a sermon, not much of one. I just want to discuss a few things that are on my mind. Okay. So we'll be back after this. We'd be sitting around the table playing Monopoly, and one time I saw my dad, and he was palming hotels and sliding them off to the side, and I'd go, and he'd go, I'm like, all right, we're bonding. And all I have to do is let him cheat. Who's he hurting? So one night I come home, waiting to play Monopoly. It's game night. No game. I walk into the dining room, I see my sister, and she's just staring at the ceiling. And as I get closer to my sister, I can hear my parents upstairs fussing and fighting. And I'm like, Cookie, what's going on? And I was really scared, so I took her hand. I said, what's going on? Why are they fighting? And my sister says, Mom caught Dad cheating. And I said, I know. It was the hotels. You know, that left a really, really big impression on me. And because of that, I have never, ever cheated on my wife in Monopoly.
Fresh Brewed Comedy at Governor's Comedy Club, featuring Tony Walker, Stephen Ortiz, Ron Kane, G.D. Fenderson. Get your tickets today at seatengine.com at Governor's Comedy Club. Make your date night funny. Fresh Brewed Comedy at Governor's Comedy Club, featuring Tony Walker, Stephen Ortiz, Ron Kane, G.D. Fenderson. Get your tickets today at seatengine.com at Governor's Comedy Club. Make your date night funny.
Thank you. I'm back. Now, I had written a sermon talking about legacies because of what's about to happen. Like I said, as of Monday, Joe Biden will no longer be the president of the United States, and there will be Donald Trump will be the head of the executive branch as of noon on the 20th. And a lot of things, some changes in this country are going to be slow, and it's going to take a while. Other changes, are emotional changes. And some of us started feeling those back in November. And some will start feeling them tomorrow. I'm one of those who did both. I started feeling it immediately after the election, and I will feel it even more so tomorrow. But one thing that we felt that we didn't have to feel is TikTok shutting down Saturday night. Okay? TikTok did not have to shut down, and I'll explain to you. While there is a law on the books signed by Joe Biden and ratified and voted on by such overwhelming numbers in Congress, both houses of Congress, the Senate and the House. I mean, tremendous numbers. You don't get that kind of bipartisan support in almost anything these days. But they were like over 3/4 of both houses were saying, yeah, we gotta do something about TikTok. So Joe Biden signed it into law. And even if he hadn't, they had the votes to override a veto. Okay? So he signed it. And Biden has said he's not going to enforce the law. Okay? So that means TikTok could still be on the air right now if they want it to be. All right? Biden says, I'm not going to do anything about it. It's kind of like what you see with legalized marijuana all across the country. Well, not all across. So here's the deal. Marijuana is still a Schedule 1 drug as far as the federal government's concerned. It's like they rate it with heroin and shit like that, when it should be like rated down with alcohol, you know, something that we can responsibly enjoy. But even though it's illegal federally, the federal administrations just say, okay, we are not going to enforce those laws and leave it up to the states. So some states say, okay, you can have marijuana legally, you cannot have marijuana legally, depends on where you live, all right? But federally, it's still illegal. TikTok is the same thing. Federally, it's illegal, all right? But the federal government says, we're not going to punish anybody for doing it. You know, we're not going to punish TikTok, the bite dance, we're not going to. So there's no reason for them to shut it down. But they shut it down, and they had a little note on there saying something like, you know, we look forward to working with President Trump to, you know, get this whole thing sorted out. Again, now even incoming President Trump, the convicted felon, unregistered sex offender Donald Trump, once he takes office on the 20th, he says that he's not going to enforce it. He's going to like basically sign a 90-day ban, a 90-day extension, which he can do as long as there's some good faith effort to resolve this issue. 90 days. Okay, so TikTok shut down to make a point. And I think that point is they want to piss people off and get them riled up against the government. You know, saying, look what you did to us. You're fucking up our businesses. You're fucking up our entertainment. You're telling us what to think and what to say. And that's not the issue, okay? It is not a free speech issue, okay? Because one, ByteDance or TikTok is not a U.S. company. Okay, they are a foreign entity. They do not have the same freedom of speech rights in this country as other U.S. companies may have, which is why we have that fucking, all this dark money in politics, okay? Because they think that money is speech, and which it is not, and that corporations are people, which they are not, but it's been wrongly interpreted, and until it gets reinterpreted the correct way, we're fucked. And at the mercy of oligarchs, but that's beside the point. Okay? But the TikTok effect could have waited. They had probably until March to do this. So if you're watching this and you're pissed off at Biden about TikTok, do not be. If you are watching this and you're pissed off about Trump about TikTok, well, it's too early to be. Because, again, Trump doesn't assume the control over the reins until the 20th. Right now, if you're pissed off at anybody about TikTok, be pissed off at TikTok about TikTok. And I'm not telling you who to be pissed off at. I'm just trying to lay down the facts for you, all right? So you know where the anger should go. See, this is the problem with our country. We have a lot of anger out there. A lot of anger. A lot of rage. A lot of hatred. But it's misdirected, okay? I'm not saying I'm pro-hate, but it's a condition that exists, okay? It's a human condition, and it exists. But the other human condition that does exist is ignorance, and we need to do something about that. So we are angry, and we're directing that anger at the wrong things, okay? So if you want to be angry about the TikTok ban right now, be angry at TikTok. They did not have to shut it down, okay? If you want to be angry about the snow that's falling right now, that's going to make things difficult for me and my wife, Go ahead. Matter of fact, I want you to be so angry that you grab a bunch of shovels, not pitchforks. In the old days, you'd grab pitchforks and tiki torches. But today, I want you to get angry and grab shovels, okay? And I want you to come out to Westminster and be out of anger, shovel my driveway. It's 200 feet long. Come out, be angry, and just shovel that shit. Direct your anger toward that fucking snow and shovel it right on out of here, okay? That's what I'm trying to help you do. I'm trying to help you constructively aim your anger at the real problem. And the real problem is, I'm going to be leaving, and my wife is driving in our driveway after I'm gone. There's going to be like a gap of time. And if there's still snow falling, I won't be able to do anything about it. I can salt it, and I'm going to salt it today before I leave. But, it's got to remain clear for my wife for her to get up here, and because she has like a Prius. And a Prius only has like this much clearance, as a matter of fact, I think Prius is actually Japanese for a little bit of clearance. So, but I have a Hyundai, which Santa Fe, which I think is Korean for great big clearance. So, I just wanted to get that out of the way about the Tik Tok. Now, the other thing I want to discuss real quickly is the hearings, okay? If those of you have been watching hearings, and I'm not going to go over each person, not name by name, line by line, because it's the same thing. You're saying the same thing for just about everybody, okay? Basically, the Democrats will not be able to stop any of Trump's nominees, okay? If you want to stop one, it's going to be up to you. For example, Pete Hegseth. All right, Pete Hegseth is not qualified to be the head of any fucking thing. Governor Kristi Noem, same thing. She is not qualified to be head of Homeland Security. Gabby Gifford, I think that's it. Yeah, not Gabby Gifford. Gabby, whatever her fucking name is. The lady who used to be a congresswoman with the streaky hair and used to be a Democrat. Then she was an independent. Now she's an ass kisser. I'm sorry, a Republican. She is not qualified to head DNI, okay? Department of National Intelligence. She's not, okay? And these departments are very, very important to the security of our country, all right? But to a person, the Republicans are giving softball questions, and the Democrats are giving you hard evidence showing you why these people are not qualified. But the Republicans are going to push them through anyway. Okay? Hegseth has been notably and responsibly and accurately documented. He has a drinking problem. He's a womanizer, a sexual assaultist. Is that the correct title for someone who sexually assaults a sexual assaultist? Mar-a-Lago-lite. Is that I don't know. But anyway, credible evidence that he's a sexual assault, and because he had the DNA, you don't have somebody signing a DNA also, but you don't have somebody sign an NDA because you want good deeds kept secret. You have them sign NDA because you say, I don't want to take responsibility for this. We're going to give you some money, and we won't talk about this. I'll give you an example. I have neighbors, okay? And my neighbor had injured himself. And so we have a community driveway. Our driveway is communal. There's like 4 houses that use our driveway. But only one house after my house, all right? So, let's say we're going to divide up our driveway into 4 parts, because there's 4 houses. I use 3/4 of the driveway because I drive from here 3/4 down. My other neighbor drives halfway down. He's only, and the other one's like 1/4. There's one neighbor who's up there who uses the entire driveway. And as a result, we all can chip in and clear the driveway when it snows. Now, basically, it's me and the other guy because, like I said, I have to use all of the 3/4 of the driveway for my wife and I to get out. So whether the other houses do it or not, I don't care. The other houses may say, we're not leaving tomorrow. We have tomorrow off, so we're not going to shovel. Which you probably would do if you had just a regular driveway. You say, well, I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I'm not going to clean the snow off my car. I'm not going to shovel the sidewalk in front of my house because I don't have to go out tomorrow. But I do, and my wife does. So we'd shovel it. Now, my other neighbor, who also uses all of this, he had surgery, so he could not go out. All right, he couldn't help. So I did the entire driveway, 200 some odd feet by myself. All right. Now, my neighbor, the one at the far end who could not help, thanked me for the deed. And he could have gone around telling everybody, Reverend Jelly Roll was such a nice man. He did this. I'm not going to make him sign an NDA saying, don't tell people that I helped you out. No, that's stupid. That's fucking stupid. If I did a good deed, now it'd be different if I said, I'll help you out, but you're going to have to do X, Y, and Z for me. And then he goes around and says, well, I want to tell people that you're not to accept your help because you're going to charge them an arm and a leg or whatever. And I'll say, okay, I tell you what, I'm going to help you out and I'm going to charge you less, but you're going to have to sign an NDA so that you can't discuss this to other people because I want to fuck them over differently. See? And that's how, so you don't need an NDA if you're not trying to fuck people over. And if you don't plan to continue to fuck people over. Because the NDA stops people from discussing previous bad acts in a court of law. See? And that becomes inadmissible. Someone says, wait a minute, what are you talking about? So here's the deal. If I fucked you over and you took me to court, and it turns out you learned that I fucked over 5 or 6 other people, there's a pattern of bad behavior there. And the court would say, may throw the book at me if they knew about the other 5 people. But if the other people can't talk about it, those cases don't exist. And so as far as the law is concerned, you're the first person I've only fucked over. And so they may say, well, this is his first offense. We're going to go light on him and give him probation. On the other hand, if they know about the other 5, they might say, you have a pattern of fucking people over. We're going to throw the book at you. Of course, we're assuming that I'm a rich white man, okay? I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Assume I'm a rich white man. That's how okay. All right, gotcha. Now, so, and the problem also is that these people and the Republicans in Congress are lying, okay? Not just distorting, they're lying. They're still, like, for example, they were asked if, certain candidates were asked if, Bondi, because she's being put up for the Attorney General. They asked her if she has to, she said, she volunteers as part of one of her answers that she's going to uphold the Constitution and do whatever it is it takes to uphold the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. And so they asked her, if Donald Trump asked you to do something that is against the Constitution, are you going to follow the Constitution or do what Donald Trump asked you to do? And she says, I'm not going to answer hypotheticals. Well, she already did that. So now what she's saying is, my other answer was a lie. Fuck the Constitution. I'm going to do what Trump wants, but I'm not going to tell you that because if I say that out loud, people are going to say, well, why'd you give the okay for her to be the AG? You knew she was a fucking crook. They do know she's a fucking crook. But as long as it's not openly admitted that she's a fucking crook, they can say, okay, well, she didn't say she was a crook. We didn't know she was a crook. How are we supposed to know that? All right, so they're lying. And this is the part that bothers me because it clearly states in Leviticus 20:13, if a man lies with another man, okay, both of them, if a man lies with another man as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. All right. So you got Trump lying, and then you have Trump with his lies, and then you have these other men who are lying with Trump. Okay. These are men lying with men. They should be going to hell. All right. And I can kind of forgive. Like Susan Collins and the Joni Ernst, if because it's okay for a woman to lie with a man. That's biblical. All right. So yeah, they're lying with Trump, but Susan Collins says, well, he's learned his lesson, and Hegseth has learned his lesson. That's okay. And it doesn't say, I can't find anything about a woman lying with a woman. So when Bondi lies, it's okay for another woman to lie with her. It's all right. They can lie together, according to this. It's just when a man lies with another man. And these men are lying with Trump. And so they, says right here, they shall surely be put to death. That's just according, if they want a theocracy, which it sounds like that's what they want, these men need to be put to death for lying with Trump. Because you're not supposed to lie with another man if you're a man. That's all I'm saying. So, I just need to get that out there. Direct your anger in the right direction is what I'm trying to say. So, there's going to be some awfully difficult times ahead. I'll give you one last example. I think it's the Secretary of Treasury. His name is Besant. They asked him, because Besant has said that Biden has had a terrible, his economic policy is terrible. He's been bad for the economy, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't want to argue that point. They said, okay, fine. Let's say that what you're saying is correct, that Biden is responsible for what's going on right now. So in 4 years, if the economy hasn't improved, is it Trump's fault? And he goes, well, no, because you have other factors that he can't control. Like what the Treasury would, like the Feds might do with interest rates, policies and laws and companies. And so they're already setting things up so that, yeah, everything that's happened in the past 4 years is Biden's fault. And even some of the things before that is Biden's fault. And they're trying to say that, but nothing will be Trump's fault. Okay? Again, men lying with men. They should be put to death according to their Bible. So, brothers and sisters, if you're angry, do something. But do something productive. All right? It's too late to stop. By the time you see this, it'll be too late to stop Trump from being sworn in. You would have to done something to Trump and Vance. And I'm not sure if there's like something in the Third Amendment that could stop it, or something in the First Amendment that could stop it, or something in an amendment in between there. I don't know. Maybe the answer is in between. The thing is, by the time you see this, it'll be too late. For that action, it will be too late to stop them from taking office. But it will not be too late for us to be productive, join together, and aim our anger in a productive and constructive way. All right? We are still on this country together. We are still in this country together. We need to row in the same direction, even if we're not all rowing at the same pace, even if we're not all rowing at the same time, even if we don't all have the same size oars or paddles. Maybe some of us have big sticks, maybe some of us have little half sticks, maybe some of us have electric motors, some of us have gas motors. But let's get going in the right direction and moving this country forward. Okay, let's stop the oligarchs. We have to stop the oligarchs from taking over the country, because their concern is their money and not our livelihoods. So, brothers and sisters, thank you for watching this Church of Last Resort. And please, When we resume our live broadcast on the 26th, please join us. And I want you to remember this, okay? Trickle-down economics is a trickle-down E. coli. And we know what happens if this E. coli goes unchecked. Don't let it go unchecked, okay? I want to thank those of you who have subscribed to my fledgling YouTube channel, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, and on Facebook as well. Bless you. And on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Amona, my children, our children, Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., our cat Tootsie, our dog Stop Dropping. I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week on January 26th when we go live for the first time in almost a month. I hope you'll be there and join us. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Bless you.
The Church of Last Resort will return next Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox Time. Until then, we're only 7 days or an email away at drreverendjellyroll@gmail.com. Please come back and bring a friend and your request for prayers and blessings. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah.